Just because it's so hot down there, or what?
I was working out before this, so
You don't work out.
as I'm knocking back a mint milkshake.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Pit Therapy Podcast with me, Trevor, and with Kyle. What's up, my man?
What's up, man? Dude, if you could be any animal for a day, what would you be?
Animal?
Uh-huh.
Probably something that can fly. I don't know.
That's what I thought too. Something I can fly or something like breathe underwater, like a shark, you know?
Nah, dude, I hate the ocean.
Yeah, but
Screw
you're a
the
shark,
ocean.
so why you wouldn't hate the ocean because you're a shark.
I still hate the ocean. Like, there's too much of my brain that just says the ocean is insane that I just wouldn't do it. I'll fly over it.
What's it called? Like thalassophobia or whatever it's called?
I don't know, because I don't have like the irrational fear of like, if I go to the beach, I can go in the ocean and like hang out in like the shallow water and stuff. But the idea of deep water, absolutely terrifying to me.
Yeah.
Like the idea of scuba diving, the idea of snorkeling, like all of that stuff, insane to me.
Yeah, but see, that's why like I would be a shark, because it's like you can't. I don't know. I'm the same way, dude. I don't like it either. But look, okay, so the background of this, me and my wife went on like a double date with someone, and their wife is like, I don't know, she's probably like super socially awkward. But the whole time she was just asking like, so like, what's your favorite color? We're like grown adults, you know?
She had like flashcards under the table.
No, seriously,
like
that's
conversation starters.
Yeah. She's like, and this is the way she said it. She's like, if you could go like anywhere in the world, like where would you go? I'm like, what are we, like game show contestants? You know, like is this? I don't do a super word. So, anyways, me and my wife like randomly, we'll just ask like flashcard
Super
questions.
random
Yeah.
questions.
So like we were just sitting out there, and I just turned to her. I was like, if you could be any animal for a day, what would you be? But then I started thinking, I was like, yeah, it's actually kind of, I don't know. I have to go read Animorphs again or something, you know?
It'd definitely be some kind of bird thing. Get up in the air.
That'd be cool.
So, but like, here's the thing. I'm okay with being a dick, and I'm okay with looking at her and just being like, I know we're on a double date, but I'm fine sitting in silence the rest of the time if you want to do this.
Could you imagine? There's like 10 minutes in, you guys just did the restaurant, you're sitting silent. Dude, you would not do that. You say that you'd be a dick, but you would not. I know you.
Here's the thing. My wife can speak for both of us. Like, I can sit in the background, okay. I can nod my head, I can chuckle, and fine. Not say anything, you know?
That's fine. Yeah, no, I get that, because there's been plenty of times where we've done stuff like this where I've just been like, yeah, I'm out. And then my wife picks up all the slack. Then she gets super mad at me after, and, you know, but it's like, yeah.
I'm like, don't invite me to people who you know I won't like. Like, that's on you as much as it's on me. So, yeah, you've known me now for what, 15 years? Figure it out.
Yeah. All right. That started off super weird, but yeah, man, I'm doing good. It's been good. How are you?
I'm good. And listen, as much as that started out very weird, it kind of goes into this because like I'll go and be socially awkward at a show too. So like you are much more outgoing than I am. So, dude,
I'm trying. It's hard, dude. I don't know. So I went. Okay, so I went. I know we were leading into because I went to a couple shows, right?
Yeah.
The first one. So I went and saw Judiciary last. Yeah. It would have been 2 weeks ago, I guess, from when this is coming out. So there's a bunch of local bands and then 2 outside of Dallas bands. The first band, I don't remember what they're called. Some like death metal band.
You sent them all to me. I think we
Campilla. I don't know, something like that. Anyways, they were cool. Like they were cool, you know. It's cool that like younger kids. I'm like, all right, this is a word jumble, so let me slow down.
Okay.
I go to this show alone. All right, it's Judiciary. I go to the show alone. It's kind of a mixed bill. It's mostly thrashy, little bit of hardcore, mostly thrashy crossover, some like death metal-y type stuff, right? There by myself. Obviously, I'm getting a little bit older than most people. This other old dude walks in, super gray beard and stuff, walks up, like we start talking, you know, and it's cool. It was awesome. Like I hung out with him the rest of the show. So like, that was cool. What's interesting is like the the generational divide in this stuff.
Yeah.
Because as I go to shows alone and I try to talk to people, it's getting easier for me, but people don't do this anymore. Like everyone's just looking down at a phone or like standing in a corner. People don't like talk at shows anymore. I don't know. It's just weird. Like me and this old head dude like hit it off and like it was really cool. We were talking about all these shows. Like he's way more on the like death metal side. And
Yeah.
he was asking me, he's like, because I was telling him some of the other shows I've been to. He's like, oh, so like you're more on the hardcore, like into the hardcore stuff. And I was like, yeah, but like we obviously like crossed over because he was wearing a Fugitive shirt. I love Fugitive. He was
Yeah.
there to see Judiciary. I love Judiciary. So I don't know. It's just cool. Like trying to be more social at these things, it's hard.
Yeah. Listen, man, like I try as much as I say I'm the socially awkward guy. Like I do talk to people, I do try, but at the same time, I'm 34 now, and a lot of the crowd is early 20s.
Yeah.
I'm like, I kind of don't want to be that weird guy. Like
See,
I'm there
I don't know,
to, I don't
man.
know.
You're
Like
not at like a playground giving kids food or something. You know what I mean? Like, come
true,
on.
true. But like I don't know, like I just remember like if we were there when we were younger or whatever, and we were all hanging out with our group of friends, and some random bald dude walked up and started like talking to my friend group, I'd be like, who the F is this guy?
Okay. No, you're right. Like, I do think that there's a right way to do it
Yeah.
because I'm obviously not like scoping out young kids and just walking up and talk to them.
Right.
But
Right.
like, there was one time like at that terror show, like I saw a kid that like his hands were X'd up
Yeah.
and like we were both moshing to terror. And so like after I walked up to him, I was like, oh, dude, like how long you been Edge and stuff? And like we started like I feel like that's
Sure.
fine.
That's
I wasn't
fine.
like scoping out like young kids talk to you. Like I'm not Donald Trump, like it's allegedly. Uh,
Gonna get
um,
freaking taken down for that.
release the list, but yeah, like I don't know. Like there's been a few times where like I've moshed into kids and like knocked people over and like helped them up, and then like after I'll go up and
Sure.
be like, "Dude, you cool?" And like we'll chat for a second, and then I'll walk off. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fine.
No,
But
I get it.
I also know the older dudes that I see at like all these shows, right? And you're the same way. I'm sure you go to all these local shows and you see the same guys.
Yeah.
It's like just walk up and talk to them. That's what I did. That's what I did
Right.
last night. I just walked up and talked to a bunch of dudes, and they were super cool. And we were all talking about the shows we'd been to in the last little bit. I have struggled like you. I used to be this like super outgoing, crazy dude, and then like I got old and life happened, and it's hard to dig yourself out of that mentality. But I'm trying. I miss
Here's the thing
being conversational.
you grew up with that. You were always much more extroverted than I was.
Absolutely.
And so like I feel like yourself can revert back a little bit and you can go back into that mindset.
Yeah.
I've always been a little bit more quiet, introverted. I much more prefer to listen and respond as necessary kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
But dude,
you
but at
know,
the same time, like we talk all this crap on this pod about the younger generation, how they need old heads. And it's like, dude, we're the old heads now. Like, let's
I
go.
know. And listen, I'm totally fine to have the conversation. It's initiating it. That's the problem
Yeah.
for me. So,
Yeah.
like, listen.
Well, I used to
Again.
get like, this is like a therapy session. We are called the Pit Therapy. So here we go. I used to get like anxiety over like just like initiating and introducing, and something as stupid as like, do I fist bump? Do I handshake? Do we dap up? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that to me always like caused me a little bit of anxiety. And now
Oh,
I'm
dude, I
just
hate it.
like, yeah, but now I'm trying to be the one that like controls it. So like I walk up to people and I'm already doing the motion because I'm not even going to give it a chance to be awkward. And like we need to bring Sarah back on and like talk about like the therapy of
We
this because
really
maybe
should.
I'm like healing myself by doing this because I feel like I'm gaining control of the stuff that causes me anxiety and I'm getting less anxiety from it. So it's like yesterday, dude, I walked up and like just held my hand out like the fist bump, and it's like I don't even give it a chance to be awkward.
So listen, like, as weird as this sound, as weird as it is that I'm like, yeah, I don't like to initiate the conversation. I would much more give a random person a hug than like just a fist bump for exactly the reason that you said.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's weird, like if they just want a fist bump, if they just want to like slap hands, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
dude.
Like
Like you
whatever
do
it
the
is.
like, you do the like, where you're
You
like
like
grabbing
you
each
like
other.
kind of grab. Half the time, like I like grab and I just
Yeah,
pull them anyways. I just give them a hug
yeah,
because I'm
yeah.
like I just like I'm more awkward like trying to figure out what you're doing with yourself
Yeah.
than just
But see,
doing that.
then like when we met Jay Ost and his brother at
Yeah,
Furnace Fest, and like I hugged his brother, and the look on his face, it was
you're
like,
like,
so then I'm sitting there like, damn it, what did I just do? This guy probably thinks I'm a weirdo. I
yeah,
didn't like sniff him or anything. Like I just gave him a hug because I was like, dude, I thought we were cool.
yeah,
I guess I don't know. He has no idea who I am. I talked to his brother. I didn't talk to this
right,
guy. I was
exactly.
some
We
random
talked to
like
Jay,
six
not
one.
Jeff.
Yeah, exactly. Like some random 6'1" fat bald dude's hugging him.
Listen, I don't care.
That's the
Hardcore's
stuff that
about
keeps me up at
hugging,
night.
so yeah.
Anyways,
Oh man.
all right. After you guys get a little insight into my psyche and why I messed up, the shows were sick, dude. So like, I've been trying to see Judiciary for a long time, and this show was out at Fort Worth. It was like a really sweet venue. I can't remember the first band's name. Second band was this band called Grimoire. They're like very thrashy, a little bit of crossover, but like absolutely rip, man. Like super sick riffs all throughout all their songs. Like awesome stuff. After them, it was Deep Cover,
Okay.
which is like a death metal-y type band. Death metal, kind of deathcore-y. I'm not sure where they're from. I want to say the guy that I was talking to says he's seen them a couple times in Dallas, so I'm inclined to think they're from Dallas.
Somewhere
I'm not
close.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were cool though. That's not like really my cup of tea, but they sounded good. Like they were cool. And then it was this band Paradise, which is like a hardcore band from San Antonio, I think. I want San Antonio or Austin, one of those.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's San Antonio. They slay, dude. Holy cow, they were good. You just like they only have a demo. They only have like a 5-6 song demo.
Yeah.
But there's a few of these bands where you listen to, and we're going to talk about one of them today, where you just hear that they know what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a 5-song demo, but you're like, nah, like these dudes have been around a bit.
Right.
And dude, they slayed. It was so sick. They were so good. And then it was Judiciary, and I might be missing a band in there. Sorry. Well, I got knocked in the face at that show, so I'm probably forgetting something. Judiciary, honestly, dude, like in all honesty, might be one of the best bands I've ever seen live.
Sick.
I'm not even joking. If anyone listening to this gets a chance to see Judiciary, like you have to see them. I have not heard bands that sounded as tight and technical as they did live. It was unbelievable. And we're in some rundown venue with not the best stuff. And it sounded just like the album. And there's no computers, there's no backtracks, there's no nothing, dude. They're legit playing, and like, holy cow, they ripped. And it sounds so much heavier live. So it was cool because the singer was like, he's like, yeah, we've been playing like all these metal shows for the last 3 years, and like I just want to play a hardcore show.
Oh, really?
And I was like, that's sick. And I'm glad kids showed up and like people moshed for him, like proper moshing. And so I think it's cool in Texas that you can get this like really cool mixed bill stuff because everyone here is so comfortable with metal and hardcore, you know?
Yeah.
So it was tight. Yeah. And then last night, I promise I'll stop talking because I've talked forever.
No. Keep talking.
Last night, I went and saw, who's the first band? Casket Breath.
Yep.
Which I think's just like a death metal band.
Or yeah, was it Casket Breath or
It's Casket
first?
Breath. Casket Breath was first.
Okay.
And then Flu.
Yep.
Flu's cool. We've seen them before with Die Young.
Yeah.
That was a cool set. And then it was Realms of Death.
Yep.
And Realms of Death, dude. Same thing what I was saying about Judiciary. You can tell when people play and they've like got it, you know?
Yeah.
Like these guys got it.
They're super cool dudes. I mean, the fact that like we met Josh at that Die Young fill-in show and immediately just like hit it off. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we sat there and chatted. You text me and you're like, dude, like Josh immediately recognized me, grabbed me, dapped me up. Like it was like that's awesome. Like
Yeah.
down to earth, cool guys. I do think that there's a little bit of relatability with us now being a little bit older, right? Like,
Yeah.
sorry to be some of the old guys in the scene and starting to like relate that way in ways. But then you said the vocalist was super dope.
Awesome.
Like
Yeah. No,
that,
they
it's
seriously
just
were
so
like,
cool.
they were seriously some of the nicest guys I've talked to. And like you were saying about Josh, like I walked because the venue they played at's this like comic book store, and they open it up in the back, and there's like this space in the back outside, and that's where they play. But like the band set up their merch inside, so I walked in there, and he like saw me from across the room and like pointed at me and stood up, and I walked over and like we dapped each other up and gave each other a hug, and we just sat there chatting like we'd known each other. And I'm like, dude, this is like it's just so cool. I don't know. That's a cheesy thing to like talk about, but like I don't know, it feels good, man, that people are cool like that. And then one of the funniest things that happened. So um, I'm like screaming to some of the like the words,
Yeah.
and it was 100 degrees heat index while they were playing at like 8 o'clock at
Like,
night.
yeah.
It's fetching hot, dude. So I'm like screaming, like actually screaming. He looks at me. He goes and gives me the mic. Well, I
You
have like
forgot the
cotton mouth.
lyrics again.
Well, no, I didn't forget the lyrics, but I had cotton mouth so bad because it was so hot and I'd just been screaming. So like I couldn't scream. So he like puts his arm around me and we like kind of fall into the side of the crowd and stuff. And like then he starts screaming in. So I went up to him after and I was like, dude, like my bad. Like you handed me the mic and like I tried to scream the words, but I couldn't scream the words because I had like cotton mouth and I just couldn't do it. And he's all, dude, it's funny because like he's like, I had cotton mouth too, and I couldn't scream here. That's why I handed you the mic. And so we both just started laughing, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, I couldn't scream the words either." That's all. I was like, "Yeah, somebody knows the words. I'm gonna hand it to him because I need to like take a breath and swallow or something."
Yeah.
So it was funny. It was funny. And then so after them was Price of Life. We'll talk about them here in a second because that's one of the bands I want to bring up.
Yep.
Incredible, awesome live, super cool set. And then the last band was Soledad, which is a
Yeah.
DFW hardcore band. And dude, they're so good. They're just like straight up mean live.
Yeah.
Like just straight
Which
mean, dude.
the drummer for Flu is also the drummer for
Yeah.
Soledad, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
sounds like he's
So
in quite a few of like the DFW
he's
projects.
very involved. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's very involved. So yeah, it
No,
was sick.
super
It was
sick.
it was a great show, dude. And like pretty good turnout, for like a Tuesday night, 100-degree weather
Yeah.
outside show. But it was a blast, man. It was a blast.
Dude, that's so cool. Like, way dope. Fun bands. Wish I could have been down there. Like, you know. But is what it is. Um, what about new music? We haven't done this in a long time.
I
Have
know.
you heard new music in a minute that like has really caught your attention?
Um, I know our buddy Chris was talking about the new Scarab album.
I
I did
haven't
not
had a
listen
chance to
to it
listen
yet.
yet. Okay. Well, probably
Yeah.
shouldn't bring it up then.
Well, it is new music,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
know. No, dude, I like don't have anything, I guess, for like new
Yeah.
music. So
Yeah, so I saw Dying Wish put out a new song. I know you're not a massive Dying Wish fan. Um, they at least they open it up with more of her clean singing. And listen, she's a great vocalist, but I love when Dying Wish is just heavy and aggressive, that like hard metalcore and stuff. And I feel like they're starting to lean a little bit more into kind of that mix, her clean vocals, which, like that's probably the trend that they should go down in all reality. If they're going to continue to grow and get bigger and stuff like that, that's the
yeah,
way that more people are going to get into them. Like Spirit Box, right, is kind of that trend.
woof.
But it was like, it's a fine song. They're like, I'm much more impressed with their older work than what the new song was.
Yeah,
um
I mean, like instrumental wise, was it still good?
yeah, yeah, like I said, it's still good. um I'm just not into what's like, it's like the I don't even know how to describe it. It's the very opening where like she's like singing. She's a fantastic singer, but it's just like big, open, kind of chorusy feeling and stuff like that before she gets into like screaming and stuff. And it's just it feels kind of like Spirit Box, like I was saying, you know what I mean? And it's just not as much as what I'm into. So
Mhm.
I'm curious about what the rest of the album will sound like. There could be some really heavy stuff on it. It could have more of the cleans. So it'll be interesting to see
Yeah,
what
but
comes down the pipeline.
even like the production of it, I'm listening to it now.
Yeah.
Sounds like Spirit Box.
But do you hear what I'm saying? Like the big kind of openy, her clean vocals coming through and all that
So
stuff. So
I'd be okay with this if it's like the first song on the album and it's like an
yeah.
intro prelude and
Sure.
then it's just brutal the rest of it, you know? But third song in makes you nervous, right?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is you could come in super heavy, super aggressive, and then maybe this is a little bit of the reprise and being able to kind of take that breath after a massive
Right.
intro. Hopefully there's something like that. Like there's a way to set it up. For it to be the first single release though, gives me a little bit of pause. Like I'm
Yeah.
curious at what
What
else is going to come.
what band was it that was like, we're gonna put it was I think it was Interpersonal that was like, we're gonna put out the heaviest song we wrote just so that people can get over the reaction of it.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder
Yeah.
if they're doing this. I wonder if they're just like, we're just gonna get this song out of the way.
I mean, listen, in terms of a single, I do think that there's going to be a big appeal for this. This is definitely a single that a current modern
Yeah.
metalcore scene is going to be into. So it gives me hope that maybe the rest of the album is actually more aggressive. You know what I mean? Where it might turn off some of those like gym bros
Mm.
away from it a little bit more. But who knows? Like, I'm curious. I'll listen to the album when it drops. But that single just came out. And then the one that, dude, like, I don't know how I haven't just been listening to this album nonstop, but Skinhead,
Yeah.
It's a Beautiful Day. What a Beautiful Day. Oh my gosh, dude. It's just so
It is good.
different. Like, it feels like drug church, but then heavier vocals and
Hmm.
stuff like that. It's just the song Kill Yourself, dude, it's just so freaking good, man. It's just so it's like it's so catchy, and then he's screaming "Kill yourself," and I'm just
Yeah.
like it's just so it's like counterintuitive. Like it's like one of those happy songs, and then you're like listening to the message, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, and then like 45 caliber is like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to 45, like a little bit of a double use of the 45 or whatever. So
Right.
it's just it's such a good album. If you haven't listened to the new Skinhead album, that is definitely one to go and check out.
It makes me super happy, man, to hear you say that because I've been riding this type of hardcore for a while, and I just felt like you never really got into it. You're always listening to Dying Wish crap. So
Dude,
I'm
I
glad to
like
see you like Haywire and this stuff.
yeah, man. Like this album to me though is the instrumentals on this are is what's getting to me way more. It's a little bit of a slower tone. It's not that super fast punk,
Hmm.
right? It feels a little bit more pop punkish,
It's
like
like,
almost like
oi,
a little bit. Yeah, it's oi,
this
but
is this is oi punk that's harder. Like you look at bands like Liberty and Justice from Texas
sure.
and uh Haywire, CMI, like
Yeah,
it's
but I
not
listen to
really
like
fast like in your face.
Haywire and stuff though, and like I think of like the fast songs when I think of Haywire.
Mm,
Like, you know what I mean? So it felt different. If it
yeah,
almost took me back to like early 2000s, late 90s pop punk, like Phil vibe, but then with these really aggressive vocals.
right.
And I just really caught on to it. And it kind of surprised me too. Like I wasn't sure I was going to like it as much as I did, but
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of this album.
cool.
So, um, I'm trying to think if there was anything else. I don't think so. So we can. jump
I don't
in.
even have any new tours either. I don't know.
I know. I think that everything. No, that's not true. Something did get announced. It was it was a pretty big tour. Hold on. End it. And there's a bunch of different
Oh
bands.
yeah, that's right.
Did you see that one?
Yeah.
So it was like
Yeah, but none of the
at
good bands I want to see are coming here.
yeah,
So
but at different times you have Ends of Sanity, Cosmic Joke, Ozone. Ozone's probably there.
yeah, they are.
Soulbind, End of Days, No Right, Hold My Own Click. Like, dude, there's just so many bands. And it's starting September 20th and it goes until October 26th. And they're playing almost every single day. So it's like 20, looks like about 24 stops. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
solid, solid run.
Their new
So,
single, I don't know if they've released anything since, but Ended's new single was super good too.
yeah, you liked it. They had those two,
Yeah.
right? They had the two singles.
Did they do a second one? I only heard the first one they released. If they've got a second one, then yeah, I'm missing out. But
No, I'm pretty sure you sent it to me. I'm pretty sure.
probably.
So, Optical Delusion. Oh, they even
Oh,
have a
there's three.
third single out.
All
Yeah,
right. Well,
Pale
at
Horse
least
and Life Sublime. Life Sublime was the one that I really liked. Haven't listened to Optical Delusions yet. Um, it dropped literally today. So,
okay.
all
Well,
right.
all right then. You're hearing it first from the Pit Therapy.
Except for this is coming out
a week later.
Yeah, exactly. So but yeah, that's a big show. I think there was a few others that did get announced. I know we have some local shows that got announced, like Beyond All Doubts coming, Scal's coming through, uh a couple kind of emo hardcore bands are coming through.
Yeah,
So
that Scout tours with Tsunami, right? That's a tour that got announced.
is it with Tsunami?
Yeah, because I messaged them. I was like, dude, the venue, they're going to that Granada Theater. And I was like, yo, you don't want to play there. Find a better venue. And then they just, they're not going to look at
Did it
my chat.
anyways.
So,
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, there's definitely some more shows. It looks like fall shows are starting to get announced, so I think we're going to start to see the September October runs getting put out there. So keep an eye out for more bands rolling through because
yeah,
we're going to start seeing more. So, um, but yeah, that's what I got in terms of shows and new music. So
cool.
you
Cool,
want to
cool.
kick us off since we've already been talking about Price of Life?
Yeah, let's do it. So, we're going to talk about Price of Life, New Mexico hardcore. I don't know how long this band has actually
2019 or
2019.
2020. So they actually had a band before that I was actually listening to called, I want to say it's called Lucia, I think
I
is what
know
they
that
were called.
I know that they've played music together for a while in different
Yeah.
bands.
Yeah.
Like 10
Um,
plus years, I think is what I read that these guys have been playing in bands together.
Yeah, so that first band was called Lucia, Lucia, and I listened to it. It's a lot like what Price of Life is, maybe a
Okay.
little bit faster, maybe a little bit more hardcore versus a little bit more like it still has the hip hop vocals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but very similar. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about these guys not only because I was seeing them, but because of the shows that I've been going to lately. I've been very heavy on the crossover thrash, deathcore, death metal-y type, judiciary, really low vocals, really low screams, very heavy, heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And so when I was like doing research into like the bands that were coming to play with Realms of Death, and I'd never heard Price of Life before I saw that they were announced to play with Realms of Death and went and listened to them. And I was like, oh, to me right now in this moment, it's a nice change of pace, especially vocally.
Yeah.
Like his vocals are very clean. Like he still screams, but it's like a clean hardcore scream. It's not a metal or a death metal scream, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's more of a yell.
Right. It's more of a yell.
More than
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Um, Based off of what I see online, they've got an EP from like 2022, an EP from 2023, and then a few singles that they released last year. So I'm sure there's more coming out. I was a big fan of it. Like, I know it's hardcore and I know they've got some like riffs, like a little bit of thrashy stuff in there. But to me, it felt like fresh in the moment because it's like, it's almost like what you were saying with Skinhead, where it's like a very, like instrumentally, it's a very like not dark sound
Yeah.
of hardcore. And then mixed with his vocals, it just felt like fun to me. Not necessarily like heavy and dark and like brutal. It was just like fun hardcore. I know you're not like a huge fan of the hip hop like vocals and stuff, but I actually really like how these guys do it.
Yeah.
It didn't feel gimmicky to me, and like, which is funny to say because they have a song, the song "The Rainmaker" that has the like turntable in it and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I usually hate that crap,
Yeah.
but I actually kind of liked it in this song. I don't know. I was
Okay.
okay with it, you know? I don't, it's just like any band that can incorporate a Mexican grito like in a song deserves praise. And they did that. And so like, I don't know. It just like, I think they know what they're doing and stuff that is typically considered gimmicky and hardcore, but I think that they're doing it in a way that just feels fun.
Yeah.
And in like like, we don't care. This is us and we're going to have fun. And I feel like when you do it that way and you do it the right way, you know, stuff that usually bothers me can land, and they landed for me, you know?
I gotcha. So, okay. I've got to ask you.
Okay.
The grito. I am okay with Price of Life dropping it.
Yeah.
But are you feeling like it's starting to get overdone? Because I can think of a number of hardcore bands, specifically kind of out of like the what would be considered the South,
Yeah.
that have been doing the gritos and stuff like
Like
that.
Southwest, like all the like
Not Southwest. No, that not what I'm talking about. I'm talking like Mississippi, Alabama,
they're doing it.
Louisiana. There's a couple in there who are doing it. And when they do it, it kind of is that thing where I'm like, it doesn't land for me. And
Yeah.
listen, I'm okay with the Price of Life doing it because they literally have a song, is it Wins and Losses, where they're going in Spanish.
Right.
They're rapping in Spanish.
Yeah.
Like there's more like culture involved with this than what some of these other bands are doing, right? And so,
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
like, I'll have to send you some, but like, I don't necessarily know if it's the grito, but it's like that brat, 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 brat. Like you hear that a lot right now, and I don't like that.
So like, that's not, you know what I mean by the Mexican grito, like the cocoa,
I know
like
I know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I do. But what I'm saying, the brat stuff is like close enough where I'm just like, that was like a gangster thing.
Right.
Like why is that crossing over into hardcore and stuff like that? And I know that, like, listen, I'm the odd man out. I'm not the hip hop guy. I don't love the crossover and stuff like that. That being said, I like Price of Life way more than some of these other bands that are doing it. Like the one that I think of, you already brought up the Rainmaker, Fox Lake. They're that heavy, grindy kind of industrial, like new metal style hardcore, and they do the hip hop influences over the top. Not a fan. Put it over a little bit of thrash for me. Give me some of that kind of southern flair, that New Mexico, Arizona flair. I'm much more cool with it.
Right.
I was okay with the price of Life.
You keep wanting to say The Price is Right, huh?
I keep doing want to say The Price is Right.
I know.
And I've just watched Happy Gilmore 2. The price is wrong, Bobby. Rest in peace, Bob Barker, right? But yeah, no, The Price of Life, it was solid. It was good for sure.
I'm on the same boat, dude. Like, again, this stuff usually feels gimmicky to me. I think what helps is it's not overdone. You know, like even the song with Fox Lake, like that turntable's only in like a 15-second part of the song.
Yeah. And like I
You know
said,
what I
I'm
mean?
okay with it. Like, remember when we talked about Commodity and their header was like, uh, tune high, play fast?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this. Tune high, play fast. Give me the thrash and stuff like that. And then, like, you can put some of that, like, that jumpiness to it, that boppiness to it,
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
And
So,
see, it like, it works really well too when, and I'm not taking shots at bands, but it works really well when you can tell that there's actual talent behind
yeah.
the guys on the instruments,
Yeah.
right? Because sometimes I feel like it feels forced, it doesn't feel as clean, or it feels way overproduced just to have that effect.
Yeah.
These guys feel like they're good enough at their instruments that when they do add the hip hop stuff and they're doing that with the guitar and the drums and the vocals with the cadence, they're actually like doing it because they're talented enough on their instruments to do it, right? It's not a backtrack that's doing it. It's not, you're not pumping in beats,
Yeah.
from a computer to do it. Like they're actually like doing it. And maybe that's why it landed better for me, because it's like, one, you could tell they're having fun. And two, like they're talented guys that have been playing music together for 10 plus years. And you
Yeah.
hear that in the music, you know? And so
100%.
like, yeah, you're just like, dude, this is sick. They're good. They're incredible live, dude. I had so much fun watching them live. And like their vocalist took his shirt off and he had the coolest New Mexico tattoo
Yeah.
on his stomach. And I'm like, and even then, like you could just tell they're out there having fun.
Right.
And it just sounded so good. I will say the last thing I'll say about them is they might be the buffest band that we've talked about.
Dude, I was
Those
actually
dudes are
going to ask you
huge.
about it. They were massive. The vocalist for Realms of Death is massive. Like, dude, hardcore is just getting like beefed up right
Beefed
now.
up, dude.
Like,
Yeah.
there are so many dudes who I'm like, I'm glad that you
And I'm
guys are
not-
in the band because I don't want to be moshing next to you guys, kind of thing.
Well, and I'm not talking, we're not talking like Crowbar beefed up, right? Like,
no, we're talking like legitimately
yeah,
beefed
dude,
up.
these dudes are like straight up yoked, man. Like it was
Yeah.
crazy. And
No,
like,
and it's happening
what's funny,
like across the board. It's
yeah,
crazy.
you brought that up because it's funny you brought that up because like the Realms of Death dude was moshing. He probably knows that if he hits someone, their head's gonna get hit off like somebody kicked a soccer ball, right? So like
Dude.
he was not like crowd killing into the side and stuff. Like he was swinging hard and people were staying out of his way. But
Yeah.
if that dude connected with someone, it's like cartoon style. They shoot him into the sun,
Dude, it's crazy. Like, listen, Salt Lake knows who this guy is. We have a massively ripped dude. And when he goes in moshes, like it clears out. I can't I have seen this dude catch so many bodies to the point where when he moshes now, he doesn't really swing into the crowd. And like I've seen him like drop people. And
I'm
so
sure,
like, yeah, you have a little bit of a responsibility when you're that
I think you
big
do.
to make sure that
I think you do.
got to protect those around you from
Yeah, and it's-
yourself.
Like it's a good thing that these guys were all cool because
Yeah.
it would have been a bloodbath, you
Yeah.
know?
And
But
dude,
yeah, like I just thought it was funny that like literally watching these guys play, I'm just like, what are they eating, dude? How are you a touring band and can afford to like pack on the muscle like that? There's no like, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. So no, it's super sick. It's really solid. I think the one other thing that kind of really got me where I was like, okay, I'm actually okay with this. I like this. Is you listen on the album? Is it called Big Burke? How do you say it?
Burke.
Is it just Burke?
I think it's just Burke.
I thought it was some sort of Spanish word. You speak Spanish? I don't know. So
I don't think that's a Spanish word.
all right,
Maybe it's not one I know.
Big Burke. The album Big Burke with Mishap. Heavy Hitters, that song where it starts off just thrashy and it has like the 80s style like riffage at the beginning of it. This is going to be a weird comparison, but it gave me Blessed by a Broken Heart vibes, but hardcore,
Okay.
right? Yeah. And I love Blessed by a Broken Heart. And so to get that feeling of like 80s, like hair metal, like thrash and stuff like that, into what they're doing, absolutely sick. And it has a super solid like guest part at the end where it's like that really almost like limp. This is why I asked you about Limp Bizkit. It's like a Limp Bizkit style at the end
Uh-huh.
where the dude is like rapping on the top. He sounds Fred Durst
Thirsty.
ish. So yeah,
Yeah. So
it's a
I was like
solid song.
I was a big fan of Wins and Losses, that song.
Yeah.
He does the like, and the reason why I said it sounded like Every Time I Die, or reminded me of Every Time I Die, is he does the thing with his vocal where he kind of ends with the like, eh?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like,
Yeah. Listen,
that's very Every Time I Die-ish. And the
that
cadence of how he's saying words, like,
that one thing is very Every Time I Die. Oh, I can give that to you. But Keith Buckley is a singer. This dude's
right.
not singing. You know what I
No,
mean?
yeah, no,
And
he's not
so
singing. But it's
like
just
and
like the tone of his scream and like the cadence he has, and then when he trails off, kind of like how Keith does. And it's not as
okay.
riffy, but it is a little southern. There's a little bit of southern like riffage to this song. So it was like, I don't know, it just, and you know, maybe this is the what happens when you get old, but it just made me feel sad that Every Time I Die is not around, you know?
Oh,
So
100%. 100%.
that's
Yeah,
why.
no, I totally get what you're saying. There's a lot of southern thrashy riffage throughout
Yeah.
a lot of their stuff. That is the Arizona, New Mexico, Texas influence, right? You hear a lot of that kind of permeating throughout bands coming out of that
Yeah.
region. So like, and these guys are a perfect example. Like for a dude to have a big old New Mexico tattoo on his stomach, right? Like he's embodying what I kind
They're
of
singing.
imagine metal sounds like down there.
Yeah.
And listen, again, outside perspective, I'm in Utah. Like this is just me thinking like if I was to go to that region of the country and go to a show, this is the kind of music I would expect to hear.
Yeah.
That might just be a stupid take.
But
Listen, if
that's
it
all we
is,
know.
like
That's
that's
why we're
fine.
doing this. That's why we're
But
doing this, right? That's
yeah,
why we're talking about bands around the country, because like, you know, that would actually be kind of like a funny test to do with people, is like, we should just play random bands that people haven't heard of and be like, you tell
and
me where
ask
they're from.
where they're from.
Yeah. Cause
That'd be
you could,
dope,
you could
actually.
probably get within a couple states of a lot of bands. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Or it'd be really cool if like you did hear something like this, but you're like, no, dude, they're from Michigan. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like a band doing like the different sounds in different parts of the country and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's way dope too. So yeah, but no, super solid band. I'm glad you
They
picked
got a,
them.
they've
So
got cool tours. Like they're playing that within these walls in Arizona. So make sure to
yeah,
check them out there. I know they've got some more shows come. Well, they're basically finishing up a tour where they did a lot of the West Coast, and they're playing Oklahoma City tonight. I guess that'll be last week when you're listening to this, and then they're finishing up with a few Texas dates. So um, I don't know what else they have out past within these walls or what they're doing with new music. They did play a new song. It was cool.
sick.
Um, but yeah, like seriously, if you get a chance, check them out. Go see them. They're super fun live. If you can't, at least go listen to them online, because it's just good fun stuff. Seriously, it's just good fun stuff. So
100%. 100%. So dope. Well, from New Mexico up to Missouri, Springfield, Missouri. And I was asking you, have we talked about another band from Missouri? You've already brought up Interpersonal. My bad, guys. Like, love you guys. But this was the first like
first hardcore band. Yeah.
heavy
First
band.
hardcore band.
Yeah, yeah, heavy band. So Vulgarity. I listen, I have been listening to an audiobook for 50 hours. So like I hadn't really like paid attention to new music, new bands and stuff like that. So I spent what day were we text about this? Like Saturday or Sunday or something like
Something like
this.
that. Yeah. One of those days.
I spent a couple hours going through and just clicking like related artists and stuff like that. And I stumbled upon Vulgarity. Super solid, heavy metalcore. You get like metalcore, deathcore, death metal, hardcore influences, new metal at times. Like you get a huge culmination of sounds
Yeah.
coming out of these guys. And then as I was doing a little bit of research, their guitar player is also the bass player for Primitive Rage, who I caught last
Ah, cool.
year with Maul when they rolled through, and he moshed with us.
Oh,
Super cool
sick.
kid. Like he was moshing to the bands and everything. And dude, he just rips, dude.
Yeah.
Like the guitar work in this stuff is awesome. So,
Dude, isn't it crazy how much better people are at this stuff than when we were growing up?
oh, it's just wild.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
Everyone's
And
so good now.
it's wild how much faster bands become better.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the crappy amount of music that we put out, that other bands that we knew put out and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's insane. And every now and again, we would have a couple bands who all of a sudden would put something out, and you're like, oh, you guys
Oh,
are actually good.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's like 15 others that are just dog crap. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
for sure.
we were included in that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it is. It's absolutely insane. It's wild. But these guys have put out 3 albums, couple singles. They started in, I want to say, around 2019. And the first album is called More Violence. So did you really like get a chance to listen through most of this? I know we didn't have much time to go
Yeah.
through it. So what did you listen to?
I listened to all of it. I listened to For Your Flesh Only more.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So I sent you a note, a text, because I wanted to like take notes about what we were going to talk about and stuff like that. So off this album, and I only picked a couple of songs per album because we can't, spend all night talking about
yeah,
them.
I just to say,
Yeah.
typically these local bands were like, you've got 6 songs to listen to. It's going to take you 7 minutes. This is like 3 full albums. Like,
Yeah.
as much as I bag on EPs, like, respect to these guys for putting out music.
Absolutely. No, massive shout out. And the thing is, they're digestible albums, though. They're still 20 minutes, about 8 songs.
Yeah.
Like, they're longer than an EP, but they're not 45-minute albums.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's my perfect version of what we're getting. You got more music, but in a condensed time.
Right.
If that makes sense. So,
Yeah.
so this album, you can definitely hear it's a first album. And from what I gather, the guitarist, he records bands, he mixes, he masters, he does all that stuff. So I'm pretty sure he has recorded all of the stuff for Vulgarity. And
Okay.
it feels like this is maybe some of his early recordings. Not that it's bad by any means, but you listen to this album compared to For Your Flesh Only, and there's a big difference
Mm-hmm.
in production quality, in my opinion,
Yeah.
right? But these songs are good, dude. You listen to this album, and I sent you a note specific, like, so Schizophrenia.
Mm-hmm.
So I listened to this album without listening or looking at the song tiles, right? And the first thing I thought when this song came on is, man, it's just chaotic. There's just so much going on in there. I mean, you get like a Slipknot vibe, and then you get just like some chaotic, like heavy riffs in there and stuff. And the vocals go into like Slipknot esque type of vocals and stuff. And I was just like, and then I saw the song title. I'm like, oh, that's very appropriately named.
Yeah.
So it's just like super sick, super dope. And then you get to a song like Harvest Me. And this is a song that I would think that you would be a big fan of. Very melodic, very different from a lot
Yeah.
of this. Because, like, you tell me, but the vocals in this are typically vocals that you don't trend to on some of the stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff from this band that, like, sonically I'm just not a fan of.
Yeah.
Right. So I will say that again, and it's like we were saying with Price of Life, when it's done right and you can tell that there's
Yeah.
like talent and thought behind it, it lands a lot better, you know?
Yeah.
And so like listening to Harvest Me, listening to Schizophrenia and stuff, like there's stuff that I'm not typically going to listen to, but like you can't, like, I'll never say this isn't incredible, you know, and the
Yeah.
talent behind it. Like the melodic stuff in Harvest Me is super cool. And it's such a cool change of pace too, right in the middle of the album after having just balls to the wall, chaotic stuff for 3 songs before it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got like, here's the thing is like you said, you had chaotic riffage. You had, you want to talk Every Time I Die, you had Every Time I Die style riffs in here. But then you also had like that weird Slipknot vocal cadence over the top of Every Time I Die
Yeah.
stuff and things along those lines. But then to put Harvest Me right in the middle of that, where it's very melodic at the beginning and he's almost just talking at the intro of it.
Right.
It's just like they're we're going to talk about it on the last album, but it's like a come down from all the chaos that has just happened. And then it kind of just goes right back into it with the
Yeah.
Bandit Hole. So like, you know, this album was really good. Super impressed for a first album.
Yeah, for sure.
Just awesome.
Yeah.
Uh you move on then to Shaking Walls and Breaking Ground. And I thought that this would be the album that you actually like the most.
Really.
Yeah. And
It's a
I
little
don't
too
know,
deathcore for me.
was it? Okay.
Yeah. The production quality is like night and day. It's like a different
Yeah.
band.
There's just like times in it though. Like I know what you're saying, deathcore and stuff like that. The vocals get there and some of the heaviness gets there. But it actually, like, these guys are a heavy metalcore band. They're not a
Yeah.
deathcore band. Like, it's a heavy metalcore band. Um,
This is deathcore from like the mid 2000s, early 2000s.
yeah,
This is
yeah,
Acacia Strain 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
a little bit. I mean, Acacia Strain's a little bit slower and stuff. They
Yeah.
have it. They have a song with the vocalist from Norma Jean.
Okay.
Earthworm has Corey Brandon on it. Brandon on
Yeah.
it, and this album to me actually felt very reminiscent of like a Norma Jean album. Like if you think of like uh Redeemer, if you think of what was the one after Redeemer? Um is it Ant Anti Mother? Is
Yeah,
that
I
what
think
it
so.
was?
Yeah.
Maybe. There's times in this album that it feels because you get some of that chaos in it, you get the chaotic riffs in it, you definitely get the metalcore flair to it. You listen to Two Step Charlie and you have that chaotic riff right at the intro, right into like a stompy like Slipknot beat,
Right.
but then like you get into like this just nasty metalcore and stuff like that.
Dude, his vocals, like I think that there's like different reasons why we listen to the certain kind of music, right? Like and a feeling that artists are trying to get across with certain songs and music and stuff like that. This dude's like scream with the music invokes like such an emotion of like panic almost.
A
Like
hundred percent.
he is so skilled. I would die to see this guy live
Yeah.
because I could just imagine like it's got to hurt him a little bit, right?
Well, dude, I
And
mean,
seeing
that's
him
what,
and watch like to watch him play live, you're probably just like, yeah, like you probably feel this way more too when you're seeing him play.
and
I
like
don't know.
in terms of like current metalcore, this is what I love for exactly that reason. Like we talked about it when we talked about a few like I talked about a couple months ago. I listened to like the new Fit for a King album, and then I went and listened to the new Boundaries album, and I was like, why do they feel so different?
Mm,
And it was because Boundaries, you just feel the
yeah.
aggression.
Yep.
Like again, hearing him scream, I effing hate you and stuff like that is just like, it was so gut wrenching as opposed to a Fit for a King or stuff like that. You get that same emotion in the way that this guy does his vocals. Like you said, it probably hurts. He probably gets done with shows and he's probably a little hoarse because it is aggressive.
It is. Yeah.
But then you listen to a song like Earthworm and stuff like that with the Corey Brandon guest spot. And this song, it just feels like an old Norma Jean song. Like it comes in with that like faded in drum pattern and stuff like that. And like it, and then the way that Corey does the guest spot, it is that Norma Jean, like drawn out, kind of singy, screamy type of things. And you get like the panic chords in there.
Yeah.
Like this just, it feels like a more modern version of what some of that chaotic metalcore was. And I'm a huge fan of it. It was a really solid album.
Yeah. I think I mean, some of the like deathcore production stuff, and this is just, old man yells at son type attitude. I don't know. Makes it harder for me, I guess. I don't know. I honestly don't know what my problem is with it, but like the chaotic and the aggression and the anger in this stuff is, I mean, it's impressive how well they're able to convey that. Not a lot, just like we said with Price of Life and what they do, the same with Vulgarity and what they're doing. Not a lot of bands land like this does.
Yeah.
Seriously, not a lot of bands are landing like this anymore. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that that's why I caught on to him so much. I really quickly just want to talk about, they had one single in 2022 with the Primitive Rage vocalist, Inflict. Top-notch song. Absolutely fantastic. Heavy, aggressive. It feels more on that hardcore realm, the heavy kind of hardcore beatdown metalcore style. And it's just a nasty, nasty song. Like, super good. So I just wanted to shout that out before we jumped over to For Your Flesh Only. This album, like, I'm pretty surprised I let this album go by me in 2024.
Yeah.
I would have been listening the heck out of this thing.
It's like what you said about me when we talked about Jawline, of like, if you want to understand Kyle's music taste, like just listen to Jawline. If you want to understand Trevor's music taste, listen to For Your Flesh Only by Vulgarity.
I mean, it hits the majority of what I like. You got that super fast, aggressive death metal, deathcore intro and stuff like that. Like I sent you a text. The combination between Crushed into Under the Pain of Infinite Regression, like, it's not your typical like breakdown,
right?
Which I love. It's a little bit of a different breakdown. You can still mosh to it. You can still get heavy to it and everything like that. But as soon as you get to Under Pain and Infinite Regression, it has the opening breakdown to a really fast part that the guitars are kind of in and out, but like it's mostly just a drum beat under it. Dude. And then it goes straight into a bass two-step.
Right.
Under Pain of Infinite Regression is one of the best songs that came out in 24.
I don't want to catch hate from these guys. It's Under Pain of Infinite Regress is what I have. Just look, man.
Listen, man.
I don't want to be like, hey, thanks for talking about us, but you learn to read.
That is why I listened to the audiobook and I didn't read the book. Like, I can talk about this. I can't read this.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying, like, I don't want them to be like, dude, you guys suck. Can't even read our names. So,
Under the Pain of Infinite Regress. Thank you for the correction. It's just nasty. Honestly, it's probably one of the best metalcore songs of 2024. Like, I'm just saying that. I know it's 25. Other music's come out.
Retroactively applied.
Retroactively declaring this one of the best.
Posthumous award to
award 2024. Under Pain of Infinite Regress.
One thing is like the first couple albums, especially the first album, and a lot of the second album is very chaotic, right?
Yeah.
It's very in your face, chaotic, relentless. This album feels less chaotic, but it feels the same amount of relentless, like aggression. Like it's maybe a little more structured, a little less chaotic. I feel like there were less panic chord type stuff, but it was still like in your face all the time. So
Okay. I don't know, man. Like this album,
maybe the weapon doesn't count. Man, that sounds pretty
this
chaotic,
has
but I
some
felt like there's a lot
aggressiveness.
more. I felt like there was a lot more structure in these songs, but it was still relentless. Like they didn't let up.
Yeah.
There's not like
No,
slow parts
100%.
or whatever. But
And again, his vocals are nasty in it. But the weapon to me, like, I'm a huge fan of Contention Artillery for Heaven. This song felt very much like
yeah,
it could have been a Contention song. Like with that gang vocal in the breakdown towards the end of it.